What's up, everybody?
Yeah.
Hello, it is the CBC Wisdom Hour number 179 for Tuesday, September 13th, 2022. I'm Steve Witchell in New Orleans.
Tony B coming to you live from New Jersey. What's happening?
What's happening is we are broadcasting live on the Cover Band Central page, in the Cover Band Central Facebook page, Facebook group,
Indeed.
and on the YouTube channel. If you're not a subscriber on YouTube, please do that. Subscribe to YouTube. The link is in the description. Click that link, hit subscribe, hit the bell so you know when we go live.
Ding, ding,
And
ding.
uh, and you can check out all our other goodies on that channel.
Yeah.
Uh
All
oh,
kinds of good stuff.
oh, here we go. We might be hitting another Facebook anomaly like we did like a month ago, because
Of the boycott,
you know what?
the Wisdom Hour.
It's Mercury retrograde right now, so
Hmm.
computers are wacky,
Interestingly
traffic is
enough.
wacky.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is all right. Well, anyway, if you're coming in here live, come on in and say hi. Tell us where you're from, and we will say hello back. Or if you're watching the replay, you could do that
I don't have an
too.
answer for
I
that.
wasn't talking to you. It's my Echo unit thinking I'm talking to her, and I'm not.
Oh, Steve, that's your
Echo
assistant. That's when
unit.
you say, Suzanne, can you keep it down? We're on the air right now, right? Thank you.
Suzanne, oh Susanna,
Yeah,
don't you cry for
I
me,
got Pete, Bobby, Jim, Teddy, and I
everybody.
think,
You know what? Facebook's been wacky again
I'll
lately,
see those over there.
last couple of days, so that's what's happening again. But I have no idea why this is happening or what to do about it. What I'm saying is
Maybe
that
you should file a grievance, Steve.
I should. But what I'm talking about is usually when we go live, there's hundreds of people that come in right away,
Yeah.
and
And
right now
there's one. We got one. Upstate New York.
there's 10 that are watching. But Holly's here from upstate New York. What's up, Holly? Thanks for stopping by.
Hey, Holly.
All right, well, there's nothing we can do but just go on with the
Here we
show.
go. We just do our thing, brother. How you doing, man? What's new and exciting? Did you
Go on
play
with the
this
show.
week?
I played. Well, we didn't talk last week because you had an obligation on
Yes, I had a
Tuesday,
I had a conflict.
and I had the rest of the week was busy, so we weren't able to talk. But yes, I played the last 2 weeks. Day gig Friday, Saturday, Sunday at Bourbon Bandstand, Bourbon Street, New Orleans, Louisiana. 1 to 6 was what we were initially told.
Okay. And that has morphed into what?
It is now 2 to 6:15.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And why
So
is that?
I
Not enough foot
that's
traffic at 1 o'clock in the afternoon on a weekday.
well, no, there's nobody there. Like nobody that works at the club is there yet at that time.
Oh, so they don't open until 2.
They're not open. They open around 2, a little before 2. But what we were told, Linda's here. Hi, Linda.
What's up, Linda?
What we were told was 1 to 6. So I got there, as I do like to do, get there early on Friday. This was last weekend, so it was dates. I don't know. I don't have a calendar in front of me. Whatever the date was, Friday. Got to bring
That
all of
was
my.
that was the ninth.
No, the weekend before that.
That would be the second.
It was the second. Okay, sounds good. I'll take your word for it.
Okay. Friday, September 2nd.
Yeah. And I had to bring all my gear, so I got my amp peg, uh, uh, cabinet, amp, and then I use another smaller 210 cabinet. And
So wait, so this is a gig where you have to bring your stuff and take it with you every time you play?
not take it with me every time I play, but I had to bring it there to play.
That was your initial gig.
Yeah.
And then you get to leave the rig there.
Yes. Right. On
So you won't
stage.
so you won't see your beloved amp again until the following Friday.
No. I left it there for the weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. So then after your little run on Sunday when you're done, you pack it up and take it with you.
I did. I didn't have to. There is a place to store stuff, but I didn't feel comfortable with it. and I just would rather
Why?
bring
Because
it
you might
home.
go there on a Wednesday and see some other band jamming on your stuff.
Maybe. I mean, things disappear sometimes, or
Oh
things
yeah, no
get
doubt.
banged up,
Yeah.
and I just don't. I would rather just bring it home and have it where I know where it is.
I had this big hole get through the front of my grill and through the cone of the speaker. I don't
E-
know, dude. You left it in the room. I don't know what to tell you.
exactly.
Right.
So, yeah. So I brought it, but I got there, and it's on Bourbon Street, and there's a cross street. It's called St. Louis on a Friday. So one of my issues with playing during the day is parking. Parking is just during the day, especially a weekday. There are certain restrictions to parking that are not there
Mm-hmm.
at night. And I parked in a place right on the corner, like right there on the corner of Bourbon Street and St. Louis, where the club is right there, making for an easy loading. So that was good. But I left my car there and got a parking ticket, which I still haven't paid, and I do need to pay that. I'm glad I'm talking about it because I would have forgotten that I have to pay that ticket.
Yeah, you park there again. You come out, your car will be gone.
Right.
Good times right there.
But I moved the car, learned my lesson, and just get there early. And if I have to keep circling around the block to find a spot on that street, I'll do it.
Mm-hmm.
And because I'm not going to pay for parking. When there's an event, especially parking is ridiculous what they charge. So the first weekend, anyway, there was LSU game in town, LSU and Florida State, Florida State,
Okay.
FSU, and at the Superdome. So first football game really of the season, big deal. A lot of people from Florida. A lot of people from Florida came in, and it was packed, like just Bourbon Street, everything very busy Friday and Saturday, and
Okay.
part of Sunday. The game was Sunday night. Sunday night? Yeah, it had to be Sunday night. Yeah. So we had people in the club. The band sounded great. I loved the room. I'd never played that room before. I loved the sound in the room. The bass sounded really great, nice and full. And my monitors, excellent monitor setup, probably the best that I've experienced on Bourbon Street.
Wow.
Four monitors right in front of us hung up from the ceiling, and then another one on each side of it, like kind of facing in the corner.
Yeah.
Excellent, the sound, and we have the same sound man that we use for Crazy Corner and other places. He does sound like all up and down Bourbon Street. So we know each other well. He dialed it in, sounded great. My biggest, I mean, we had fun. It was nice to play again with the same band, just an old shoe, fit right in. We did use different singers all weekend though. We had our old singer, a guy, and he lasted that one day, and then he said he can't do the gig. And then we had this girl
Wait. So,
with us
so he
Friday.
did the gig on Friday,
Friday.
and then let you know at the end of the gig I won't be returning tomorrow or Sunday. Get somebody else.
He let us know the next day.
So then Saturday, in the morning. Sorry, by the way, I'm not coming to the gig today.
Yes, basically, yes. I can't do this gig.
Excellent. And what was his? So, how does that protocol carry over on Bourbon Street now? Do you say to that guy like, "That's well and good, but you are doing the gig today and tomorrow, and then we'll figure it out going forward"?
No.
No,
I mean,
he just says, "I'm not doing the gig," and you're SOL. So
yes.
if I'm a drummer on Bourbon Street and you hire me, and at 12 noon I tell you, "Hey, Steve, by the way, I'm not coming today at 2 o'clock."
Right. That happens. That happens.
And how does that guy get hired again?
He's a good singer.
Don't care. If I'm in a band and I need somebody, I don't care if he's Elvis. He's undependable.
Agreed.
Right? So
But
that's not right.
but not. I mean, it's not only that he's a good singer; it's that there is a dearth of talent here compared to the available work. there's not enough people here, not enough musicians here. And you would think New Orleans, music town, very famous. You would think there'd be musicians
but
beating down doors
what's
trying
the
to get
reasoning for not doing the gig after you've already committed to saying you're going to do it?
I don't know what his reason was, but your question was, how does he get hired again? Because he's a good singer, and bands are desperate a lot. They need a singer. We need a singer tonight. Who are we going to call? All right, we'll call him. And then if he shows up, he does a great job. He's been
if he shows up.
Yeah, well, if he says he's going to come, he generally comes.
Generally.
Generally. But that's how he continues to get work. But yeah, he's definitely proven himself undependable. And
sounds like it.
Yeah.
But I guess in the world of sub gigging, that's what you get.
Yeah.
In other words, if you were in a band with that guy, you wouldn't tolerate that for a minute. You'd be like, I don't care how good you are. If you can't commit, you're out.
Agreed. But usually, and I was going to say before, my wire's all tangled here. You would think in a city like New Orleans, where there's so much work available, that there would be musicians beating down doors, like trying to get work. And it's just the opposite here. So, yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, and I guess because most of the people that are musicians that work regularly here on Bourbon Street are people who are from here. And there's a lot of musicians that are from here that did work on Bourbon Street and no longer want to, for various reasons, which I'll get to, by the way. But first, let's answer this question from Ka Martinez Ricardo. Do you guys feature some cover bands in your show? I'd like to submit Sober. Our three-piece played it at our last show on Saturday. Yeah, not typically during the show here, but I'll definitely share your videos on the page, which has a huge audience. So you want to submit Sober? I guess he's talking about the Tool song.
Yes, sounds like it.
If you want to send me that video, where's my address? There it is. Steve at coverbandcentral.com. You can send me a link to your video. Make sure it's a YouTube link, and tell me something a little bit of something about your band.
A little something.
A little something. So that's how that works. All right. So that was it. So Saturday we had to call in another person that it's similar in difficulty level as far as reliability. Different reliability issues. But he shows up.
Great. It might be available an hour before you need him.
Yeah. Great singer. And I don't want to trash him here. He is a great singer and he's a nice guy. How do I say this?
He's a nice guy with a good voice.
He's not very happy. He's not a very happy person.
Okay.
Sometimes, but mostly not usually. And it's a bit of a drag to work with. But
yeah, well, I mean, we talked about attitude. We talked about top 10, right? We went over these things a couple episodes ago.
Yes.
It's a big factor being in a situation like that. The energy you bring to it. If your energy you bring to it is, all right, guys, let's do this. It's be different then.
It's even worse than that. I'll tell you later.
Is it like, hey, Steve, what do you say? Nothing good.
Solfina.
From the Philippines.
It's watching from the Philippines. Welcome.
Hope she's got binoculars.
Yeah, it's far. But we had a good. It was busy during the day.
Oh yes, that's my other question. So the daytime gig has proven to be, you still have a crowd.
And we had a crowd because of the football game, because of LSU. A lot of people from Florida in town, college kids, a lot of college kids. Very busy. So then Sunday, Another different singer. So we used 4 different singers that first weekend for 3 gigs. Another different singer, somebody I've worked with before years ago when I had my band at Crazy Corner, and he did a good job. Real good voice. I mean, little nitpicky things I could say, but he did a good job. He was a little unsure of some of the lyrics, and he was off on some of the timing of things, but he did a good job. And then came back this previous weekend and worked with us Friday and Sunday, and was much better this weekend.
Yeah.
So he was probably a little rusty. That's okay. But here was the major issue, Tony, from the first weekend. We get paid less during the day than you would get paid at night. We get a
discounted day rate.
A less, yes.
Yeah.
A discounted day rate, yes. And it's still good, if we make good tips, it's good. The bar, I know you've been here, but to anybody who has not ever been to Bourbon Street in New Orleans, there's bar after bar, club after club, and you don't have to pay to get in to any of them. There's no admission price, and you can walk in and out with your drinks. So you could buy a drink somewhere, walk in this club, nobody's going to give you a problem.
Right.
The only source of revenue for these clubs is the alcohol sales, what they make behind the bar, and they charge pretty good money for.
Hang on, but on that thought, I'm surprised that they would let you bring your own alcohol in, because if I just went to Club A and filled up, and I took a couple sips, and I said, okay, let's head out, and I walk 2 doors down, and I walk in, I got a full drink. I might be standing there for a while before I buy one, or I might stand there for 20 minutes, drink my drink, and then say, yeah, you know what, this band's not that great. Let's move on.
You might, and people do. But what they bank on is that people will come in, finish the drink that they have, and buy a new one there.
Okay.
And it's the band's job, really, to get those people in the room and to keep them there, so that does happen, so that people say, I want to stay and watch this band, so here's a bar right here. I'm going to get a drink right here. But again, very busy in the quarter, so every bar was pretty packed during the day.
So do they encourage you, like if people walk in and it's a side entrance next to the stage that you're on, and they're holding their drink, talking to the guy, do they encourage you to like lean over the railing with your bass and knock that drink out of their hand and be like, oh, sorry, and just go back to what you were doing?
They don't.
Okay.
And that would probably be unethical, I think.
Oh, yeah, because I can't imagine anything unethical ever happening on Bourbon Street. What's the matter with me? Sorry, I lost my mind there for a minute.
But, dude.
Happens.
Here's the thing that got to me for the weekend. And I'm not, I don't want to make this a bitch fest about it, because I am very grateful that I get to play music in one of the greatest music cities in the world. I love playing bass. I love playing in a band. I love getting paid to do it. However, I have a fairly good business sense. Like, I know how to generally run businesses before I did anything like Cover Band Central or
sure. Not your first rodeo.
When I had real jobs, I was actually managed businesses. So I'm pretty, I know. Like
real jobs.
So real jobs where you get like a pay stub.
Yeah, as opposed to playing music, which is a fake job. That's just fun to do.
Well, yeah.
Okay. Still a job.
So like, I was a manager for retail stores. So I would know that, say, on Black Friday, I need a lot of cashiers. It's going to be busy. Mm-hmm. On certain days, Saturdays, because I was in the mall, working Saturdays. It's going to be busy.
Yeah, and between this time and that time, it was going to be heavy traffic. So
it's going to be, so you write it on the schedule,
mm-hmm.
You know ahead of time. You plan the schedule ahead of time, right?
Sure.
There was about, kind of cycling between 100 and 200 people in the room at a time during the course of the time we were playing. That's a pretty good estimate. I didn't count the heads, but it was
packed room with a turnover rate, so it's
but people were staying. People were coming in and staying and getting to the bar. And there was a point where I was looking at the bar, and it was very long runs the length over the left side, from my point of view, a long bar. I would say, probably good 40, 50 feet, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
I can't gauge distances, but a long bar. And then there's one in the back facing the stage, that was not open, but this long bar was open. And I counted at one point that there were 3 people deep through the entire length of the bar trying to get a drink. One bartender.
No, come on.
One bartender the entire day, on Friday, on Saturday, and on
How do you
Sunday.
put one bartender on for 200 people?
That is the question I was asking myself.
That's a great question, man. We have to put that out to our audience. If you were a bartender, how would you manage getting drinks for 200 people by yourself?
Well, the person behind the bar was busting his ass. It was a dude on Friday. It was a girl on Friday, a dude on Saturday, and then a different girl on Sunday. And he just didn't stop moving, And I talked to him the next day about it, and he was like, because from my point of view, he seemed like he was handling it, and seemed like it was cool. But, he was getting, everybody shouting at him, like, hey, can you get my drink? And, he had to keep like, yeah, I'll be right there,
Yeah, right. And as he's walking back to wherever he was coming from, 10 other people asked him the same thing.
Exactly. Like, I've been waiting here for a half hour.
Yeah.
And that's what people had to do. It was either that or leave and go somewhere else where there was less of a wait. But
Right.
that's a risk. And especially if you're with a group of people, which a lot of people were, college kids are there with their friends. It'd be like, all right, we're all leaving, not just one person. So to wrangle everybody up to leave is not, it's more worth it to just wait at the bar. But I even said something on the mic about it to those people, and I said, I wasn't slamming the club, but I did say something about, that there's only one bartender, and I tried to sympathize with the people that are waiting at the bar, and they appreciated that. They're like, okay, but it didn't make them any less frustrated, I don't think.
F you, bass player, you got a drink.
Yeah, I didn't. I couldn't get a drink from the bar all day, and all weekend I didn't get a drink from the bar. And it's daytime. It's like I don't really want to drink during the day anyway. And I brought water with me.
Cool.
I did end up drinking a shot this past weekend, a shot and a beer each day. That's it. So yeah, it's very frustrating, dude, to work on Bourbon Street and them have the audacity to pay us less when we're doing our job. And we're bringing people in the room, and they're not doing their job by staffing the place to accept the revenue, the only revenue they get.
Again, the Bourbon Street pattern of unacceptable behavior being accepted. Listen, that's the way it is. It's either going to shake itself out, and people are going to be like, screw that place, Bourbon Bandstand, because they got one bartender and there's 500 people there, and it took me 40 minutes to get a drink, and I won't be going back there again, Or there's just such an influx of people there that it really doesn't matter, and they don't care.
That's what it is.
So it just comes down to, again, it just seems like it's like a constant thread, like a repetitive pattern there of just the bar owners just don't care about anything but the money. That's it.
I would tend to agree with that. Yes.
Right. And meanwhile, as musicians, we care about the product that we present because, and again, it's not fair to the bands because we're doing our best to bring people and keep people in the room. But if the people are in the room and we can't keep them there because it's taking them 40 minutes to get a drink and they end up leaving, ultimately they're going to say, hey, you know what? The band's not really putting enough people in the club or keeping the people here, so we're going to get a different band. But meanwhile, the band isn't the problem.
Correct.
Right? So that seems to be like just, something you have to navigate if you want to play on Bourbon Street, and it's not necessarily fair, but it just seems like it's the norm. And is there any exceptions to that rule? Like a club that people say, oh no, I love playing that place because they take care of the band and they do have good bartenders and they're not a bunch of, shysters. Or is it pretty much all the same everywhere and that's just the grind?
It's all different versions of the same, maybe.
Mm.
I mean, there's clubs that are always staffed well. You know, the bigger clubs, Famous Door and Fat Cats and even Crazy Corner. And Bandstand, I mean, somebody just dropped the ball. Somebody just didn't realize, okay, there's an LSU game at the Superdome, and
Yeah.
Florida State people are going to come here for the game. And that's what happens for college games always.
But what happens after Friday night when the guy who was on says, "Hey, Mr. Boss Man, I just want to let you know, the rest of the weekend is going to be exactly like this. You better call and get some more people on."
Yes, that is exactly the question I was asking, and I don't know. I was asking to myself, and talking to the band about it, but there's no recourse for the band. It's not like we can go to the management and say, "Hey, make sure you schedule some more people.
Were you eating a Twizzlers when you were thinking about
Call
that?
somebody in." No, but that's funny.
Like, just stand there and say, why don't they have more bartenders on busy weekends? Thanks, man. I'll be here for about another 45 minutes or so if anybody
That's
really
good.
wants to know the comedy act.
I don't. Yeah, it's a good question, and it's out of our hands, and it does feel very, very disrespectful to the band. But I think you're right. I think the owners do not care about anything but seeing the dollars come in, and it's just a question. It's just a matter of volume. It's just volume. It's New Orleans. It's Bourbon Street. People will come. The people that were there that are frustrated about Bandstand, they're not going to go on Yelp and complain about it. And they may not even ever be back to New Orleans. And if they are, it's going to be a completely different situation anyway. So it's just, every day there's new tourists coming in. It's different events. It's just volume. They make money. They make a ton of money.
Listen, it's like any business, right? If the leader or the boss is not enforcing rules and making it like a productive environment that has some sort of structure to it, and it's just left to its own devices, and we're just going to suck it dry. I mean, it's going to last for a little while, but I don't think it's going to last sustainable. It's not going to last the long haul, and people are going to take advantage of that, right? It's like if you're in a band that never rehearses. I'm not talking about subs like when you do New Orleans, but I'm saying like if here, like up in New Jersey, I said, I got a choice between two bands, right? This one band, they play every weekend, but they don't rehearse at all. No one talks to each other. You show up to the gig, you do the same songs all the time. If someone wants to learn a new song, maybe they send it out and you learn it and you show up to the gig and you play it. Or I could play in band B that plays, once a week, maybe twice a week, but it's very regimented. You have rehearsals. There's a structure to it. You're going to be learning this amount of songs so that you constantly have new stuff going into the into your sets, and you have a good rotation of new songs. They're two different environments, right? Because one is just a lackadaisical, like, dude, I was busy this week. I really didn't get a chance to work on that song at the gig, But if you have rehearsal and say, like, you're expected to show up and do, be prepared to play this song, and you show up the first time unprepared, that won't happen again, right? But if you show up unprepared and it's like tolerated, it's just like, yeah, I get it, man. Don't worry, dude. We'll get to it next time. Get to it next time might be like a month from now by the time you actually get it together, right? And so at the end of the year, maybe you learned like, half a dozen new songs if you're lucky, and maybe you didn't rehearse at all, and the band is kind of status quo, as opposed to, someone that's putting passion and effort into it and managing that process, and not necessarily like cracking the whip, but just keeping it organized and keeping the expectation up to say like, hey, we want to get better collectively and we want to keep pushing the ball forward. This is what we got to do,
Yeah, for
and
bands,
everyone's got to be on board with it. Well, it's no different than a club, right? It's like, hey, man, if that owner was super engaged and said, we really dropped the ball Friday night, I'll make sure I'm there on Saturday. We'll get it set up so that A, B, and C don't have to suffer again. And then once I feel like it's under control and I can walk away, then I'll be better. I'll feel better about it, because think about that. Like the ignorance to think like, let me just suck the money out of it. Or like you said, they dropped the ball. What a missed opportunity for even more income to say, if I had two other bartenders there, yeah, it would have cost a little more money, but maybe I would have sold 100 more drinks at the end of the night.
Right.
Because
I don't think there's
waiting for 45 minutes.
I don't think there's incentive with the managers. I think the managers get paid what they get paid.
No, but as an owner, if I'm a bar owner, I'm going to say to you, hey, Steve, you're the manager. You had one bartender on and there was 200 people there,
The
and
owner is so far removed from it. The
that's what I
owner,
mean. But so I'm putting my reliance on you, Steve, to say if you're the manager, you have to recognize that issue, and you
oh
should probably
sure,
you rectify it because it cost us a lot of money that night. You know?
yeah. I mean, ideally, that's it. In this case, the owner is just owns several clubs on the street and is probably a multi millionaire.
Yeah, it might not even be in town, and he's not in the weeds, and he's just looking at the end of the month and looking at the receivables and saying, "Oh, we did good."
Right. That's it.
But like you see with all these other shows, like Bar Rescue or any of these things, yeah, you did all right, but you could be doing so much better if you were paying
Yeah.
attention.
If
Maybe
somebody
they don't
can,
care, because I want to take my trip to the French Riviera for a couple of weeks and not care about it,
yeah,
right?
that is it. They just don't. They don't care. They don't care. And so, and then there's the time thing. So we kept showing up, expecting to play at around 1. I would get there early again
Oh, wait, yeah,
because
so you didn't get back there. So what, you got there and the club was closed?
the first day, yeah, I got there and
Yeah.
nobody was there, so I had to wait until somebody got there. And that happened each day because I got there early. So when except for Sunday, the first Sunday, because when I got there and I got there early again, but they were open. The club was open. There was a bartender and everything, a bartender. But Sunday wasn't as busy as the other 2 days because Sunday was the game. It was still busy, but
Yeah, but people were at the game then, for the most
but
part.
well, they went. The game was at night, so
Yeah, but
and
they
we played
put
during the
tailgate or
day.
whatever. Yeah.
But the time we ended up starting at 1:45 and going to 6, which is 5 sets with a half-hour break in between. And then this past weekend, that's what we were doing. And then on Sunday, we started a little bit later than 1:45 because the the doors weren't even open. I mean, we started playing as they were opening the doors and getting the tables out and getting the stools out.
Mhm.
And then we broke when should have broke, which was 4. And the DJ was sitting at the bar and he's on his phone. And we, like, all right, we're going to take a short break. We'll be right back. And we stopped playing. And the DJ looks up and he's like, and then he scrambles to the booth and he puts a song on. And then he told us during the break that the manager, the general manager who manages all of these clubs, messed up, and we were supposed to start at 2 and go 2 to 6:15. So then we're playing, and we're like, we're supposed to be done at this certain time, and Jason's like, no, we got to play to this time because we started, or because he told us that, and I'm thinking to myself, that wasn't our mistake. That was their mistake. We started when they told us to start. Why do we have to play extra to make up for their mistake? But, and I was getting me steamed a little bit on stage. Like, it's only an extra 15 minutes, but I'm just like,
Yeah, I don't sweat the small stuff.
but yeah, so we played the extra time. So now it's 2 to 6:15. But we had this guy come in on Saturday, this past Saturday, who I've met before. He's come up and sat in a couple of times when I was playing at the Swamp, and Jason knew him really well. And he's showing us, we're on break, and he's showing us his song list on his phone. And he knows a ton of songs. And I'm like, you want a job? Because we need people
Yeah.
that are going to be there, reliable. And he said, yeah. He's like, I could work any day. This guy's like full of energy. I've never seen anybody like this. He's like,
He's ready to go.
he's just always talking and moving.
Yeah.
He's really, and he's drinking Red Bulls. And but let me tell you something. So we were like, okay, yeah, after we go on break or get off break, come on up and sing a bunch of songs, and see how it fits. And he got up and sang a bunch of songs, and he was great, man. Great voice, really good.
Awesome.
And he's younger than us. I would say he's probably in his 30s. Tons of energy. And so we basically hired him and had him come in the next day on Sunday. So we had 2 singers on Sunday, both guys. And it was the one guy from the first weekend, from the Sunday from the first weekend, and this new guy. But not this past weekend, not busy, really.
Wait, let me ask you a question. So when you have this new guy come in, right? and now he's a permanent fixture in the band. So, do you still have two singers on Sunday? Will you still bring the other guy for variety?
Ideally, we would have a female, and
Okay,
we did have a female that subbed with us on Saturday, and she actually did a double on Saturday because she plays with the night band at the same club. And she was I've known about her. I've never heard her before, and I thought she was great. I thought she had a great voice, and she did a great job. She's very comfortable on stage, good at engaging with the crowd.
now what
So
about the fact that you started your 1 to 6 gig, which was 5 hours, is now 2 to 6:15? So it's really only 4 hours and 15 minutes. So is that 45 minutes that it's short? You guys get beat out of one set.
well, we're doing 5 sets, which is what I expected us to do.
So the extra time is what toggled in between like break or a
The
couple
extra
extra
time was just
songs.
that the general manager didn't know what he was doing when he
Yeah.
told
No, but I
us.
mean now going forward, you play 2 to 6:15. You'll still do 5 sets with one break.
Yes, so we'll play 2 to 4:15, which is 3 sets. Break from 4:15 to 4:45, and then play 4:45 to 6:15, which is another 2 sets.
Gotcha.
Right. Thanks, dude. His name, Kyle Martinez. He said never tuned into live streams. Very cool. You're welcome. So, I mean, I spent a good now 35 minutes talking about my my gig situation. But going forward, I don't know. I haven't talked to Jason about it. I don't know what his decision is, but this new guy, at least we're gonna have, and I don't know if he reached out to the girl to see if she'll play with us or if it's gonna be the other guy. But we have a lot of songs to learn, and that was my other pet peeve this weekend. Just like we have these guys coming in, I take the time to get their song list, organize it, put it in a Word document, alphabetize it, print it, so I have it there. And I'm trying to call songs on stage, and I have to ask my band, "Do you guys know this? Do you guys know this?" And there's a bunch of songs that like, no, we don't know. And it just, I mean, we've talked about it forever, but you want to be successful playing covers, you got to know a lot of songs. And there's songs that you should know, that you just should know.
So once you get that Word document assembled, do you guys like would you circulate it to the band and say, "Hey, highlight any songs on this list that you don't know"?
If I had time, I
Yeah.
didn't. I didn't have that amount of time, but I gave them the lists. I gave Jason the lists Sunday when we were done. I gave him all three of those singers, the girl
So
and the
then,
two
do you
guys.
guys have homework then to say,
They
"Hey,
do.
here's 20 songs that they don't know"?
Jason said he's going to pick a bunch of songs and talk to Chris, the guitar player, and they'll decide what to learn. And I sent Chris the list yesterday too. So it's up to them to pick songs. I know them all. Not to sound like a jerk, but I know them all. So they need to step it up and learn some of these songs. So we'll see what happens.
Good for you, Steve. You song machine, you.
This weekend is the first Saints home game, and it's Tampa Bay playing at the Superdome on Sunday. So
Should have a good crowd this weekend. Yeah.
I'm anticipating again Florida, Tampa Bay. I'm anticipating Florida people coming into town. It's Tom Brady. He's
So let's circle back next week on this topic and see if we have the same situation. If now going into this weekend, knowing it's going to be slammed with football fans again,
yep.
are you down to one bartender a night?
That would floor me if that happened. I would
Prepare,
just
Pete. Make us clean. I have Pete clean the area on the floor here, just in case you fall down.
put
on
a
the floor.
cushion, down,
Yeah,
like a mattress or something.
I have a piece of cardboard. I don't have anything
Beanbag
else off,
chair,
but
like a bean
I have a
bag
piece of
chair.
cardboard or construction paper.
That's not going to do it. Construction paper.
So you're not laying on a dirty floor, but I can't offer you much as far as comforts or support.
Oh my god. So anyway, that's my deal.
Back will feel great though.
And
Nice and great.
the guy, the drummer from the night band at Bourbon Bandstand, texted me today and said, "Hey man, could you do a double on Friday? I need a bass player." And I'm probably going to take it. So that would mean
Yeah,
I'm going to play the day shift.
1-to-1, right?
Well, we start at two
Oh yeah, sorry, 2. So you might play 2 to 12.
2 to 12, I would say probably.
Yeah. So
With
will that be a record-setting day of sets for you?
it will
Would that be 10 sets in a day? Will that be the most you've ever played?
If it was 10 sets, that will tie the record.
Wow. So
I
listen,
did 10 sets.
I'm going on record by saying we got to go for 11 sets. All right.
I'm thinking that they do.
A new bar needs to be set.
I'm thinking that they do 6 at night, so I think it's going to be 11, and that will be a new record for me. I don't know if I can handle it, but but I'm considering. Hey, Donna, thanks for coming.
You already know all the songs, so I mean, what's there to do?
Linda asked what days I'm playing. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at Bourbon Bandstand on Bourbon Street, New Orleans, Louisiana. So yeah, I've never done a double before. There are a lot of cats here that play doubles all the time, and I've never done one. So it's a long day, and then I'd have to get up early and be there Saturday for the day shift.
Hey, so let me ask you a question. So does Jason bring his drums and then break them down and take them with him every time, or does the night band play on his kit?
There's a house kit.
Oh, house kit. So he just brings snare and cymbals, seat, pedal. Cool.
Yep. That's it.
Is there any places where the drummer brings his own kit?
Thanks, Monica. She said I got this.
Yeah, he's got it.
No, not on Bourbon Street. No.
No, every place has a house kit.
Yeah.
Wow. Even if you're the house band.
Yeah, because there's more than than one house band in every club. There's day bands, there's night bands, there's not every band.
Even like Crazy Corner, when you played there, when you were playing like 5-6 times a week, there's still a band during the day there too. Oh, so every place is day and night bands.
Not every place, and not all year, but during this time of year now, when football season, fall, winter is and spring is busy. Generally, most of the clubs have something going on during the day.
Cool.
So yeah, and there's different bands at night too. Like the bands don't play the same band 7 nights a week. There's like bands that play 3 nights and bands that play 4 nights or 2 nights or whatever. So yeah, so that's why there's got to be a house kit there. But there's nothing else house-wise. There's no amps.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you got to bring all your own stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's going to be a busy weekend this weekend doing that, and I just feel like I've never done it before, and I haven't played with this band really before. The drummer I played with before once, and I don't know who else is in the band. So I do like that because that keeps me kind of awake and like I don't know the set list. I don't know what songs they're going to call. It keeps me on my toes. It's more fun for me to play with different players and play different songs, possibly. And
yes, do you have to get a set list from this other band to figure out what their songs are, or you'll just show up and be like, "Hey, just make sure you can do it."
I'm just going to show up and expect that I know the songs. That's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to expect that I know whatever they do, and if I don't know something, sometimes I'll try it on the fly.
Hey, now on the 5 sets that you're doing during the day, is there repeats? Are you recycling stuff towards the end, or are you doing 5 sets of no repeats?
Some songs you repeat. Ben said this guy's never been to Noah. I think he's talking about you, but you have been to Noah. So
yeah,
I've been haven't been here. He hasn't been here enough to know the whole routine.
Yeah, I haven't gotten sucked into the.
There's repeats. There's maybe by request if we played a song earlier and somebody requests it. Or the mega popular songs will get repeated, which are like "Sweet Child of Mine," "Don't Stop Believing." Who are these people? I should put up her name. Who are these people? Is she talking about us? Let me see. I'm going to put up her name so she knows who we are. We are Steve Witchell and Major League.
That's me.
Yeah, so yeah, I don't know. I'm guessing that they do pretty much the same kind of stuff that we do. They have a female singer, so, and I know a lot of the standard female cover songs. So I might ask him, if he has a set list. Most people don't have song lists, which drives me absolutely bonkers.
And what time does the night band start?
The start at 7.
And you're ending at 6:15.
Yes.
So you got just enough time to grab a bite to eat and then hop back up on stage.
Yes.
Perfect.
Yes.
Does the club serve food?
No. Randy said she lived there so steamy and decadent.
Yeah.
She loves it.
Steamy.
No, but there's plenty of food options, right there,
Sure.
like pizza place or whatever.
Yeah, I think that's super exciting, man. It's like you get all kinds of opportunity, and when it comes your way, you got to take it, right?
Yeah,
But
might
it's
as
like,
well.
you get all kinds of get to play with different people, different bands. You get to play with different personalities. And I guess that's part of the fun aspect of it, right? If you can't control a band unit or vibe where it's consistent, then I guess you just embrace it and say, I'll take each experience as it comes and just not get too stressed out about it, right? Because I mean,
Yeah,
if I'm only playing with you once in a while, if you're making mistakes or don't know the songs, then move on and do another song. Who cares?
I agree with Linda. Yay,
Right?
pizza.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the fact that it's going to be busy, that there's going to be Florida people in town. It's the first Saints home game of the season.
Mhm.
That helps to just
Sure.
the enjoyment of it all, and it helps the time pass. So that's why I agree. I haven't officially agreed, but that's why I'm going to agree to do it.
Yeah.
You know, it's better than sitting at home sometimes to just be out and playing my bass. So we'll see how it goes. I'll report. So I mean, wow.
So I just want to go on the record again as the once again, I think episode 174, I predicted this would happen, and I was told probably not. So I just want to go on the record as saying
No.
that I think again I'm pretty accurate in my guessing.
Well, that's why we put the whiz in Wizdumb.
Yeah, nobody beats the Wiz, baby.
Right.
Oh, I'm glad you muted. That's not.
That's why I have a cough button. Yeah.
Right.
So
if I yelled in the mic like this.
Sarah Smith said, "What is this, please?" This is the Cover Band Central Wisdom Hour. This is Steve. I'm Steve. He's Tony, and we talk about music and musician-related things each week at this time. And the previous episodes you can see on YouTube. The link is in the description if you want to check them out, see what this is all about, and please subscribe. You could also give stars. I didn't mention the stars. If you're watching on the Facebook page, you can give stars, which are a digital gift that you can give to Cover Band Central. We do this all for free, so if you want to throw some love our way, that's a way to do it.
But Steve, you neglected to mention in the inquiry of what this is that it is not just about bands and music and Cover Band Central. We insert and infuse a certain perspective that brings all kinds of stuff, silliness and fun and information. Wouldn't necessarily call it wisdom, but I'd say information that could be potentially misconstrued as knowledge and experience, to share with others in a fun environment that's welcoming to all.
Right, like Charles Ray, who's from Texas. He says, "What's up?"
What up, Texas?
See, now people are coming in. This is so rude. Connor said, "Do you guys like pop punk or punk?" Sure, we like all music.
We like everything.
Like all music. So, I mean, I took most of this time.
But that's a good question, Steve, about pop punk or punk. You could get a very diverse reaction to that if you have hardcore punk fans who would say that maybe they're not so appreciative of pop funk because it's really not genuine.
Right. Hey, Marianne, what's up?
Yeah,
All these people are coming in now. It's like they just got their notification.
Yeah,
like Kathy's here. Hey, Kathy.
The watches are broken.
Wait, Kathy, did you just get a notification that we're live? Because that would explain why nobody showed up in the beginning.
Yeah. Eddie, you got to tell Kenny to get on that. Someone's getting fired if that's the case.
I think, you know what? I think that's exactly what happened because I usually get notifications from Bob Doyle when he goes live. And I was scrolling through my newsfeed and I saw that he went live. And I thought to myself, that's weird. I didn't get a notification. And then like an hour later, a notification popped up. I'm like, oh, okay.
Why would you need a notification for Wisdom Hour? This should be like on your phone. You should have an alarm clock set. Friends calling you. There you go. See?
Just now.
Ridiculous, man. Ridiculous. But you can go back and watch the replay of Steve talking for 45 minutes about all his endeavors and complaints about Bourbon Street. However, if you stick around for the next 9 minutes, you might be fairly entertained.
Sheer said this is great insight into the world of lace music. Found this live stream on a whim. Cool, Sheer.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us.
Awesome. Make sure you wash your hair.
Sanford said he just got it too. Sanford's here all the time, Batman.
Yeah, he is there, but he
They
just
just
got
got
it
it.
too.
Well, you guys missed
all
45 minutes
yeah.
of quality material. So when we're done,
Well-
you can watch the beginning. Watch from the beginning.
Just go rewind it.
Amity said, there we go.
Yeah.
Watching on YouTube. All right. So, wow. Okay.
Good stuff, man. Good stuff.
Yeah. Should I just tell the whole story from the beginning?
No, we don't want to hear any more about that. We've already recapped enough of that. We only got.
Oh, happy birthday, Sanford.
Hey, yesterday was your birthday.
was Sanford's birthday.
Happy birthday, brother.
Yes. See, now they're pouring in Amity. Viva music all
Of course
over the
they
place.
are. They're all coming in now.
Yes. Jake says, as a member of a cover band, play Freebird.
$500.
Stop it. Stop
$500
it.
bucks. $500.
And that's on sale. $500.
So
let's talk about your gigging
very
exploits.
quickly, yeah. So I gigged. So I haven't talked to you in 2 weeks. So I played 2 gigs since we last spoke. Both outdoors. 'Tis the season. But Sunday's gig was interesting because it was outdoor gig, and there's typically 300 plus people at this venue, and it was raining. So we had the option. The guy said it's rain or shine, and if it's raining, we could always bring you indoors if worst case, if it persists. But outdoors is a fully covered stage with a regular hard roof on it, big seating area, some tents, umbrellas, a big beer garden, covered building, and so we opted to play, and we played 3 to 6, and it rained till about 4 o'clock, and there's about 100 people there.
Okay.
But the conundrum was when we got there, there's no room inside because it's fall season, and the area where they would normally put the bands is all set up for like their fall baked goods or whatever they had going on there. So when we arrived, they said you will be playing outside. Because when I pulled up, the guy said to me, "Let me find out. I think you're inside." I said, "No, we already found out we're outside." And the guy's like, "Oh, okay."
But you said it's covered, so
It was covered. Band was dry. I mean, it was great. It was
Yeah.
outdoors. We had a good crowd. And it stopped raining, so people did come out, and there was a bunch of people out in front of the band.
Is it
but
covered for the crowd as well?
no.
Oh,
Right, that's what I'm saying. It's covered at the bar area. There's like a seating area where they got tables and people can sit, but that only holds about 50 people. And the overflow from that, they had tables with big umbrellas on them. But dude, they came out. People endured the weather, so that was killer. And I'm playing this Friday night, outdoors again. Do we charge extra to play outside? No, because typically the venues that we're playing at in the summer months up here are all outside. Like I'm playing Friday night outside again, outdoors. If it's raining, they'll bring us indoors. And then Wednesday night I'm playing outdoors next week, at a car show event again.
that's cool.
And then the following weekend. So it's good. We got a bunch of busy gigs going through the end of the year, but the outdoor season's coming to the end.
Kathy wants to know where you're at.
Where I'm at, I am right here.
Here and now.
I'm here and now, present and accounted for. No,
Kathy-
I'm in New Jersey. I'm coming to you live from New Jersey.
Kathy
Jersey.
is a new member of the Cover Band Central family team. So
Welcome aboard, Kathy.
you will see her all the time. She
Excellent.
is, as you are, of course, and Chonk,
Yes,
and that's about it.
one big happy family.
See, Marion said, only just got the notification.
Yeah,
54 minutes later. Way to go, Facebook.
yeah. Tune in next week, Tuesday night. We'll be here.
Bill's from Jersey, too. I'm from Jersey as well, Bill. But, Bill, where are you at? Or
Yeah,
where
North,
are you from?
North Jersey, South Jersey.
Where are you from in Jersey, Bill?
Where you at, Bill? And where you playing?
Kathy
Where you
says
at?
howdy to you, Tony.
Howdy back to you, Kathy.
You might know Kathy, dude. I mean, she's from Jersey. She's a bass player and a singer, and she's great. And she used to play in a band called Barcode.
I remember that band.
Yeah, she used to play at the Fire, so that's where I know her from. And she had Dom, Dom, guitar player. Maybe you
Yep.
don't know Dom.
Yeah, no, I know.
She played with him. She played with Paul Riario. I forget her other band.
Paul Riario.
Yeah. You know Paul?
Wow. Yeah, he has a younger brother, Pete. And Paul Riario is a guitar player, right?
Yeah, he works for Guitar World now. I've known Paul since we were kids, really.
Oh, dude, we got to talk offline about that.
I'd love to get him on the show. Me and Kathy were talking about that.
Dude, I've known, if it's Paul, if he has a younger brother, Pete Rierio, right?
I'm not sure.
I'm fairly certain. And when I was younger, I actually went there, and I'll tell you some pretty funny stories. Yes, okay. So then,
wait, Luke is from North Carolina.
Paul Rierio.
He just said hi to me, though.
Yeah, that's funny. Small world.
Yeah. So I'd love to get Paul on here. Yeah, Kathy said we'll make it happen.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, Kathy could reach out to him. I could reach out to him, but it'd be cool. He works for Guitar World. He's like, yes. Okay, good. She confirmed it. Yeah, Pete is his brother. So there
funny.
You go. That'd be cool.
Yeah, that's
if
funny
you know
stuff.
him too.
That's really funny. Yeah,
there'd be a lot to talk about with Paul.
For
we might have to make it the Wizdumb 2 hour.
You might have to, or you might have to get the notifications out 45 minutes earlier to
right.
turn in on time. You know.
Yeah. Sorry about that, guys. It's not our fault. It's Facebook is glitchy. It is Mercury. It is Mercury retrograde right now, so wacky things are happening. Mm-hmm. If you believe in that.
Crack
nonsense.
is whack, baby.
Yeah. It might be stuff, but that's cool. So, guys, go back and watch from the beginning once we're done, because we talked about a lot of stuff, and mostly my experiences over the last 2 weeks playing. But it was full of wisdom, full of mirth, and
good insights.
Full of,
Really?
Like that is a thing? Really?
Huh?
That happened?
Would have never thunk that.
You'll be shocked. You'll be amazed. You'll call your friends. You'll tweet about it. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know what you do.
And if you tell your friends, Steve, what would you tell them to do? Sign up maybe for something?
Yeah, I was getting to that.
All right.
I'm watching the clock. I was waiting until the clock.
Yeah, I don't watch clocks anymore.
Yeah, but yeah, like when it's a typical Facebook. Yeah, but yes. Like Mick said, you'll laugh, you'll cry, you'll pet your dog.
Yes, you'll laugh, you'll cry, you poke yourself in the eye.
Yes. Okay, I don't know who Facebook users. Said fun to get to know. Okay, y'all, I would definitely try. We'll keep eye out. Jersey area, you say.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I don't know what any of that means. Do you guys play only cover songs? No. If you're asking me and Tony, then the answer is no.
Correct.
And that's an easy answer to give to you.
We play and write original music too.
Yes. Tina said, "What's up?"
What's up?
Linda, as always, thank you for coming here. She comes here every time. She stays the whole time. She's excellent. Thank you. And she always has positive things to say. Thank you.
And Linda was punctual on time, I must say.
She was the only one.
She didn't get, she didn't get thrown off her game by this lack of notification.
Yeah.
She's on top of things.
Right. But what you could do if you're on Facebook is you can click somewhere to let so you
file
get
agreements.
So you get notified when we go live. You can actually click a thing in your notifications to just click or to just get notified when we go live anytime we go live, if that helps. Or you can subscribe to the YouTube channel. The link is in the description. Click that link, subscribe, and then you'll get notified on YouTube. So you won't even have to worry about Facebook. You could do that. There's other things you could do, Tony, and you know what they are. You can go to the website and sign up for a free profile for you, your band, or both. Coverbandcentral.com. It's where all the cool kids are going. And cool. Big news, Tony. Next week,
big.
The page has been growing exponentially. It's crazy.
It's insane.
By the next time we meet, next Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 7 p.m. Central, 5 p.m. Pacific, we will have exceeded 500,000 followers on the Facebook page. We're almost there, 500,000. Very exciting. It's an incredible milestone to hit. So be here with us next week to celebrate that. But keep your eyes on the page and in the group, because when it hits 500,000, I will announce it, and there's going to be a big party, and you're all invited. Yeah.